Hey guys, it's Caden. Welcome to another episode of Get Prepped for Podcast, where we talk with voice actors, nonprofit leaders, and business owners about a good media game. Get prepped. Today we have an extremely amazing individual with us. He's a voice actor that came on just recently. He's the owner of Maus Haus Productions, and he was in a movie called Sugarcane a while back. He is Michael Mao. Thanks for coming on, Mike.
Oh, thanks for having me, Caden. I appreciate it.
Of course. My first question for you is, how did you get into acting?
That takes us back to when I was just a kid. I think, I had a healthy imagination, and I loved entertaining my parents. And my mom always got a kick out of me dressing up and pretending to be other people. I always loved watching TV as a kid, so I think those were the early seeds of being an actor. But um, my and while I did act growing up in community theater and in school plays, um, when I went to college, I studied English literature and eventually became a teacher. So acting was not my profession for most of my life.
Oh, I didn't know that. What did you teach?
I taught English literature, I taught creative writing, I taught theater, I taught speech and debate.
Oh, well, those are definitely some of my favorite subjects, especially English. My next question for you is, what was your favorite role to take on during your career?
Oh boy. Well, I hope that my favorite role is yet to come. Um, but actually, I think one of my all-time favorites has to be a voiceover role that I do in the sci-fi podcast Derelict. I play Special Agent Blaine. I'm kind of a space ranger of sorts. And Derelict is a great podcast. The universe was created by sci-fi author J. Barton Mitchell, who actually also directs and edits the series. But playing Agent Blaine has been a real treat. I love getting into that action role, but I do it, in my voiceover booth. So it's no makeup required.
That definitely sounds awesome. I'm into sci-fi as well. My next question for you is, what's a funny or challenging in the booth or on-set moment that you want to talk about?
Well, yeah, let's take it back to Derelict actually. So, yeah, as I said, it's a sci-fi podcast, but it's action packed. And in order to really convey that action with just audio, of course, there's sound effects, but you know, the actors have to be running and jumping and falling and drowning even. And so in my booth, if I had a camera set up, you would see me like grabbing onto things and throwing myself against the wall and pouring water on my face and all kinds of different tricks to make it feel like I'm in that moment. And we have a great time doing that.
That definitely sounds fun. My next question for you is, what's something you've learned throughout the course of your acting and producing career that you wish you knew when you first started?
Patience, probably. Now I am lucky, sort of, in that I didn't really start. I didn't become a full time actor producer until I was in my 40s. So I had a lifetime of experiences, but still, when you start later in life, you want to be farther along because you've experienced a lot of success in other careers, and you feel like you're owed something as a full-grown adult in an industry. And but I learned over the years that in film and TV, the time, it's time is glacial. It is very slow, and something that you start to take interest in might not come to fruition for years. And to be able to stick to something, not just over weeks or months, but over a period of years and still have that same energy and love for it, that's a real, it's a steep learning curve, and it's a real trick. So, any young actors, even young actors in their 40s, I would say you have got to have a lot of patience and almost an unhealthy level of delusion that you can make it in this industry, because most people don't.
I like that. I'm the same way. I've been looking for a job for months now, and I started off with a sense of entitlement because I've done a lot of freelance work, talked with a lot of great people, many of which look great on resumes. I thought these companies would be idiotic to reject me, but the more I applied, the more I realized that there's always going to be someone better than me.
Yeah, and maybe not even someone better, but someone who they feel fits their project. And I think that we judge ourselves against one another, and it's just not a healthy way to be any kind of artist, because you may be at the peak of your skills in your craft, and a job might go to someone else, but that's not because they're better than you. It's just because they fit whatever that the casting director or the producer was looking for. And we tend to then take that as, oh man, it was a rejection. But honestly, I have been taught, and I firmly believe that rejection is protection. It protects you from being involved in a project that you really weren't meant for.
Yeah, that's a really great way to put it. I definitely like that. My last question for you is, if you could take on any voice role, past or present, who would it be and why?
Oh boy. Um, that is great. Well, I did get to actually on the podcast Tom Slick Mystery Hunter, which stars Owen Wilson, and it's about the the scientist and Yeti hunter Tom Slick. I got to play Jimmy Stewart, and that I've been doing my Jimmy Stewart voice for most of my life, and that to be able to play Jimmy, and to have people listen and think, oh, that guy sounds just like Jimmy Stewart. That that was a real treat. But also, and I don't know that I'll ever get hired to play Gollum or Schmeagol, but
I've always wanted to play. And as a the dirty hobbit says, oh, my precious.
Spot on. Maybe they'll make a live action Lord of the Rings trilogy reboot with you as Gollum.
there you go. That's my hope.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyways, that's going to do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much to Michael for coming on and sharing his story. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews with those involved in Get Prep, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Get Prep channel. And to learn more about the game, scan the QR code here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
All right.